Hey guys, what's up? Ashley here. The sun is crazy right now. And I don't mean like that the sun's crazy, I just mean like it's the time of the day that it's right in your eyes. So I have to make sure that I don't move too much, or else I'm gonna get that really bad lighting again. So we'll just back up a little bit. Um, Golden hour is what they call it. Yeah. So anyway, welcome back to another edition of Confessions of Giggler. Um, honestly, I was just thinking, like, I know that the name of my vlog is Confessions of Giggler, and I obviously laugh at a lot of things that I'm talking about. But then I'm like, does it even match what I've been talking about recently? I mean, I don't know. I guess it works well because I pretty much talk about everything. Just right now, my focus has been on dating and such. So, and I'm like, does it match? But yes, because it's so terrible that what else can you do but laugh? Right? Like, it's so bad. It's so bad. Oh, Lord help me. So, yeah, it's just so bad. So I do not have a Hinge update for you because it really hasn't been that long in between my last update and now. Um and yeah, that so like there's no new developments. Um I don't even think I think I got one more match in that time. So, yeah. Yeah. But what I do want to talk about is just dating in general and um how hard it is. Hold on. I need to getting parched here. Yeah, it's just really hard. And so I just want to talk. I mean, like, I know that I've talked about all these things many times, but I seem to have a lot of new people here um from my post from my vlog about joining Hinge. And so I just want to, like, I don't know, go back over some of those thoughts that I have and just about all of it. Um yeah. So I'm going to try to get through this without without getting very emotional and crying. But I make no guarantees because I'm an emotional person. I can't help it. But yeah, so there's a lot of things that have been brewing in my head and I just need to, like, get them out. So, one. So I saw a TikTok or a reel or something, probably Instagram reel because I'm old and that's where I watch my TikToks. Like any other old person. So it was probably on Instagram. I'm not gonna lie. So it was this girl, and she she made it clear that she was um she had recently, it seemed like she had lost a lot of weight, which, great, good for her, I'm so happy. So she said something along the lines of she always her whole life wanted, um just wanted to love and be loved. And these are the things that I say all the time. All the time. And she said that I just knew I had all this love in my heart to give and I just couldn't, and I was so excited to share it with someone and I couldn't ever find anyone and I never thought I was worthy. And she said all these things, and these are like, it was like she was saying them out of my head. Like, these are the things that I say. And then she goes on to say, and then my boyfriend texted me, and I was like, oh, okay, so we're not the same. And and like she just went out and like said all these things about how she didn't think that she deserved love, and even after she lost weight she still thought that way. And I mean, I've been up and down, and yes, I am on an up right now, but I've also been on a down. I've never been slender by any means, but I was a lot more slender than I am now, but that doesn't even matter. That's besides the point. So she says all these things, and she said even after she lost a lot of weight she still felt this way. And like, yes, I also still felt that way after I lost a lot of weight. At one point in my life I was down like 90 pounds or something like that. And yeah, so, and I still felt like I still felt like I wasn't good enough, and like I would never find love and all these things. And yeah, but this girl obviously did. But then I was looking at some of the comments, and some of these people were saying things that I also agree with. So one of my fears is, let's pretend I lost a whole lot of weight and was skinny and was like socially acceptably attractive. That's not the right verbiage, but let's go with it. Like, yeah, like conventionally attractive, let's say. And let's say like, okay, now I'm skinny and now I find the love of my life. But I think that I would always wonder, like I've also always said this. I don't know if I've ever said it out loud, but I've always said it to myself. Like, I would always wonder if this person would have liked me or even given me a chance when I was not as slender. Because, like, this is who I am. I've been plus size my entire life. It's not like I was a skinny kid and then sorry. And then, like, gained weight later in life. No, that's not the case. I mean, yes, obviously I've gained weight. But I was always the biggest kid. Always. And yeah. So, like, this is a lifelong thing. It's part of who I am. It is who I am. And, I mean, it's not my whole personality. I have a lot of other really great things about me. And it's just like, it's just part of who I am. It's not my defining characteristic. But it's something that people see and judge you on as soon as they see you. Like, I mean, you know? So I don't know why I'm crying so much. I think it's just some days are more cryy than others, you know? So, deep breath. Okay, so yeah, so that's my point. Like, even if I was to get very skinny and then to find a man, I would always wonder if he would have ever liked me or given me a chance at this size. And then, like, I'm watching Love is Blind, which a whole other discussion for a whole other day. But, or we could just add it in here. The one guy says to the girl, who was clearly, she was talking about how she always counts her calories and she goes to the gym all the time. And he was like, oh, if you ever gained any weight, then I would yell at you and you have to go to the gym. I was like, oh my God. Like, if anyone, like, imagine having a partner who says that to you. Oh my gosh. And she's like, well, what if I have a baby? And he's like, I don't care. And I was like, dude, that's a problem. So yeah, so like these things concern me. Okay, so that's one thing. And I'm not saying that I may or may not lose weight or gain weight in the future. I don't know. Right now, I am fine with who I am and how I look and all the things. And yes, I've definitely packed on the pounds. I'm not saying that I haven't, because it's not great. But I am more confident in myself now than I ever was, even when I was down and like weighed a lot less than I ever did in my adult life. But yeah, so that's not really the issue. It's more of, I feel like I'm talking in circles, but it's more of like, not the confidence that I have in myself, but like how I think that other people think of me. And I know that that's something that I'm working on. Because a lot of me says, who cares, and just do whatever you want, because everyone's going to do whatever you want. And it doesn't matter what other people think about you. If they're important to you, they're going to love you no matter what, right? Or if you're important to them. And it doesn't matter. But yeah, so if I do choose to lose weight in the future, it will be because I want to, and not because I'm trying to get a man or anything like that. So yeah, that's that part of it. So another thing that I would like to touch upon, as far as dating as a plus size girl goes, so what I have noticed is that a lot of times, I'm trying to find the right words here. So like, in life, people are always like, oh, I know, I have this great person to set you up with. And when I say people are like, they're not like this to me. No one ever says this to me. So, but in general, people are like, oh, I know this person, let me set you up with this. No one has ever tried to set me up with anyone, except for one time in my life. And it wasn't even like a setup. It was like, oh, this was a long time ago, and this was a family friend. Like, I would say high school-ish era, maybe college time. But my family was always like, oh, you know, this guy, he likes you, so you should like him also. And I did not like him also. But within recent years, I would say within the last 5 years, I've asked this person if he liked me then, like a crush, and he was like, no, I don't know what they're talking about. So they all just made it up. And I'm gonna tell you why. It's because he was a big guy, I was a big girl, and they're like, oh, you know what? 2 plus size people should be together, because the society says that you can't have a skinny and a fat. You can't do that. But no, sorry. Big men can date skinny girls, but big girls cannot date skinny men. And yeah. So this is why they consistently told me when I was young that I should date him. So then I have this in my head as a young person who is attracted to all kinds of different men, and they're all telling me, no, you can only like him. He's the only person who would ever find you attractive. I mean, they didn't say this, but this is what they were implying. And you know, that messes with your head for a really long time. And, you know, like I said recently, that I know now that that's not the case, but that's like 20 years of unlearning these things that they put into my head when I was a teenager. So it's a lot, but like, that's not fair. It's not fair. And people do it all the time to not just like plus size community, but to all kinds of people. It's like, if you know 2 gay people, you're like, oh, I know a gay person, they're good for you. Like, but are they? Just because they're both gay doesn't mean that they're compatible. People still have to be compatible. It doesn't, like, that doesn't matter. And like, I this person that they were always like, oh, you should date him, we are not compatible. There are so many things, like, yes, we got along very well as friends, but we're not compatible. And on top of that, I'm a Taurus and he's a Scorpio, and that is not a good match. At least I think he's a Scorpio. He might be whatever's next. I don't know. But yeah, so that's annoying because I've recently been thinking about this because these same people, I've been rambling for a long time, I'm so sorry, but I need to get all my thoughts out before I go crazy. These same people who have told me this, I'm trying to think of what I should say. I'm sorry that I just paused randomly like that. So yeah, so it's just like, then they always like talk about all these other people, and I'm always like, well, why don't you think that you should set me up with them? Like, oh, well, they're married now. And I'm like, yeah, but they weren't married the entire time that you knew them. Because, like, now they're like, oh, you would like him so much, you would like him so much. And then they're like, oh, but his kids or his wife, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, well, what happened to the time before he had a wife and kids? And, like, whatever, I'm happy that you found the love of your life, great. But it's not about that. It's about, like, well, why didn't you think of me? It's because he's conventionally like attractive and you don't think that I am? Like, you don't think that he would like someone like me? But that's not for you to decide. You know? Everyone can decide for themselves. Every single person can like whatever kind of person they want. And some people are attracted to muscles, some people are attracted to skinny people, some people are attracted to big people. I mean, the whole BBW thing, big beautiful women, it's a whole section of whatever. People are attracted to that. They just don't want to say that they are. And then that leaves me here. And you know, and then like always, I also always think when I don't know, like if I'm out and about and I see a big girl with anyone really, sometimes I wonder if she was always that size or did she gain weight. And that's really great that she found the love of her life, or at least I hope that he's the love of her life and he treats her well. I mean, these are just strangers. I don't know who they are, you know? And then I'm like, well, why can't I find that? Yeah, so it's really hard. And and like, why do I even think that? Like, I don't see a skinny girl and say, oh, I wonder if she was always skinny. Like, why has the world and society, well, not the world, because I'm pretty sure in like the South Pacific they like big girls, but here here it's difficult. Hollywood has just messed with my head since I was a teenager, and it's a lot to unlearn. It's really hard. And, like, it shouldn't have taken me into my 30s to like see my own self-worth. So yeah. Also, sorry. I said that I was gonna try to be not emotional, but I made no promises, as you recall. It's just hard stuff to talk about for me. But yeah, so also, I would also like to say, so I'm trying to like stay out of the sun light and like still have the light but not be bright in my face. So sorry if I'm moving like awkwardly. So yeah, okay. So also what I would like to say is a few months ago, well, when I was doing my like vlogs every day, I was on the apps at some point last year, and then I quit the apps at some point last year because this is the same cycle that I've been doing for 10 plus years. Go on the apps, get frustrated, quit the apps, get lonely, go back on the apps, get frustrated, quit the apps. You know, like it's the same cycle over and over and over again. And it's clearly not working, and I don't know why I keep doing it, but this time I'm really trying to go into it with a positive attitude and all that stuff and not get too discouraged too quickly. Anyway, last year when I quit the apps, I had a couple of like not so great comments on that vlog, and I am, you know, not that I have a huge following. I only have like 600 subscribers, which is great, and I really appreciate every single one of you who has subscribed, and if you like and you comment and all the things, I really appreciate you. But like, I know that I don't have this huge following, and it's not that big of a deal. So I do, like, when I get comments, I do always try to respond to them. It might take me a while, but I always try to get to it eventually. But these comments that were not so nice, I did not respond to, but they're still like there, and they always are on top because I respond to everything else, and I have it filtered for like comments I didn't reply to. So like they're always on top. So in this, you know, whatever video, I didn't rewatch it, but I can imagine what I said, that, you know, the apps are terrible and I have to quit them for my own mental health and whatever, blah, blah, blah. So someone commented, I wrote them down so I can read them to you. It's always super hilarious to hear women complain about dating apps. It's literally showing having zero awareness. So I am literally on this video telling you that my dating app experience is not a good one. And I mean, like I've said, like this time it hasn't been that bad. I mean, it's slow moving, but like it hasn't been bad. But that last round, that last round was rough. I had like so many people trying to sell me cryptocurrency and like just all kinds of crazy stuff. And like it was a bad experience. But for you to say that, just a blanket statement that women must have an easy time on dating apps, is crazy. Because like every single person has their own experience, and this is my lived experience. So if I'm having a bad time on a dating app, it doesn't, like, that is accurate. I'm not making this up. Yeah. So like it's just as bad for everyone. It's not good for anyone. It's hard. And like you saying that it's only bad for men is you having zero awareness, sir, not me. I am aware that it's terrible for everyone. So, yeah. Then the other one was equally mean, and they implied some things, but I mean, I don't know for sure, but it sounds mean to me. This person said, "You've made some grave choices in your life. You should have married young. Poor girl." One, I didn't make any grave choices in my life. I have been like this forever, my entire life. I do blame the fat milk, which is another story for another time, and that's just me saying things. But I have been big girl my whole life. I weighed 80 pounds in second grade, so most second graders do not weigh 80 pounds. But yeah, so I have been, like I said, I've been the biggest girl my whole life. And also, it's not for lack of like terrible whatever, because I ate the same dinner as my sisters every night, and I have a sister who's a size 00, and we ate the same things growing up, and it was still, this is just how it was. I went to dance class every night of the week for hours and hours and hours, and still it didn't make a difference. It didn't change anything. I was always the biggest girl in the class, and that's fine, but, and it's not like I was any worse than anyone. I was the best. So, I mean, maybe I wasn't the best. There's definitely things I could have improved on, but my stage presence was really, really good. And yeah, I was pretty good. So, and doing all of that as a big girl. So it's not like I made bad decisions in my life. I did not. Maybe now I make a couple of bad decisions and I think food is delicious and I eat a lot of food, and that's fine. That's my choice right now. But I wouldn't say grave decisions. And like, I just feel like that's implying that I should have married someone when I was skinnier. And I was never skinnier. So the joke's on you, my friend. And yeah, but I am not a poor girl. Like, yes, dating is terrible. Ask anyone who's trying to date. They're going to tell you the same thing. It's terrible. It's horrendous. It doesn't matter what size you are. It doesn't matter if you're a woman or a man or whatever. It's terrible. It's just the worst ever. And it's getting worse by the day. And I'm trying here, and I'm just living my life, and I'm being the happy person, the giggly person, the bubbly person that I am, and I know that I have a lot of love in my heart to give, and one day I'll find a man to give it to, and he will equally give me love back. That's the key. It's finding someone to love me back. Anyway, I know that I have rambled on and on for quite a bit of time, and I probably made no sense, and I went on a bit of a rant, and I apologize for that. But here we are, almost a half hour later, and we have accomplished nothing, and I'm so sorry. But I do appreciate all of you for sticking around and listening to me rant, and hopefully some of you out there can relate to what I'm saying, and maybe if we don't, like, one of the things is I feel very alone in how I feel a lot. And so it's nice to know that there's other people out there who are also struggling. Not that I want everyone to struggle, because I hate it's so terrible. But at least, like, we're in it together, and there's other people who understand what you're going through. Because it's hard for people to, like, help you if they've never been through it. And yeah. So I don't know. I don't know. So yeah, that's it. Whoa, that's very bright in my face. So yeah, so I guess that's it for me for today. Seriously, thank you for listening to me rant. I needed to get these emotions out, and here we are. I'm airing my thoughts out to you, and hopefully, you can relate, or if you don't relate, maybe you've learned something new of how it feels. Yeah, so I guess that's gonna be it for me for today. And I'll talk to you guys soon. Love you. Bye.